Yeah, when I think of Skip Prosser, I'm really drawn to the person, even more so than the coach. And I think anybody that calls Coach Prosser a friend or family member, or you're around him for an extended period of time, I think you would echo that sentiment because his character was impeccable. Not too many people, if any, I've ever heard, be derogatory or negative towards him in any way, shape, or form, because he made it very difficult because he was very likable, a gentleman, cared a lot about his players. I know he loved both Cincinnati and Xavier as a university. He was the head coach here at Xavier for 7 years. And sometimes when you think about that, it seems like it was a lot longer, but he was here for about 17 years, I think, close. Am I right, Tom? 15. So, you're at our program at this university, living in Cincinnati for 15 years, 7 of those years, and the head coach, and he transformed this program in so many ways as both an assistant and as a head coach. But I go back to the person, how he treated everybody that he met. He had an amazing command of the English language. His sayings, you still hear people bring up something that he would have said because it just made so much sense. And he had a great way of being able to say a lot of complex things in a simple manner. But we all miss him. The world of college basketball does. I know his family and friends certainly do. He certainly passed away at way too young of an age. But his impact on the game of basketball, on the communities, and I know I can't speak for Wake Forest, but I would imagine you would hear very similar things from Coach Forbes and the different people that knew Coach Prosser at Wake Forest as well, things that I'm saying about him. So being able to have a game last year, it was Winthrop with his son coaching. This year it's Wake Forest. It's the right thing on so many levels, and I'm glad to be able to bring up the name Prosser in a positive way about the game that I know he loved in two places, Wake Forest and Xavier, that he impacted.
Now, speaking of that matchup, what stands out to you the most about Wake Forest as you kind of dive into scouting them as a team that kind of on a similar trajectory as you went to the NIT last year and now has a kind of a blend of newcomers from the transfer portal and returners?
Yeah, we certainly respect them a great deal. They're undefeated. They have a great victory against Michigan here last week. I would just characterize their team as physical, tough-minded. I think they play together on defense very well in their man-to-man defense, cover for each other, help, play in gaps, and do a real good job of protecting the paint, protecting the basket. You can really tell that's an emphasis. We have to be very smart and be efficient with what we do offensively, because if you're not efficient, the way they play defensively can give you a lot of problems. I think on offense, they have a couple of guards that can really play. Reed, a true 7-footer who can score in the low post. We're certainly aware of both his experience and what he's able to do. But look, they're a very good team from a conference that we respect a great deal, the ACC. Steve Forbes, excellent coach. He's been a part of this game for a long time. He's done a really good job at Wake Forest building their program, into his identity of being tough-minded. And we're going to have an epic battle here on Saturday. We're going to have to play really well to beat them.
Coach, I believe Wake was picked to finish third in the conference of the ACC behind Duke, North Carolina. How important is it for you to have this early season challenge against a team like this?
Well, just generally speaking, every game you play means a lot. The first 3 games that we've played here at home, the name of the other opponent might not resonate as well as, for example, Wake Forest from the ACC. But look, there's a price to be paid winning and losing every game. There's so much parity in college basketball. You start to play these inter-conference games like ACC, Big East. You have a chance to play them at home. Clearly, it's a number of really important games that remain on our schedule. Like I just said, the first three were important. When we play at TCU, you'd be able to frame the question the same way, right? Big 12 opponent on their court. How big is this? At Cincinnati. We can keep going. So you just, as a college basketball coach and player, you have to be ready. And, this isn't an 82-game schedule like the NBA. We all play a non-conference slate. What you do in November and December matters. And then we get into conference play, and, that speaks for itself. So this is a big game for our program, our team, our fans. I know it should be exciting to play a noon tip-off on a Saturday and to play a team from this conference. Coach Prosser associated with the game against, like you said, a team that's picked third in their league. We have to really embrace it and be ready to play.
I know toughness is one of those things that you always ask of your teams, and you need, especially when you get to Big East play. It's early, but seeing some key pieces back like Zachary Mantle or Jerome Hunter and other ones now, where do you think your team is right now as far as toughness goes, and just kind of getting there to be ready for what is going to be a really tough slate ahead?
Yeah, no, I think we have a tough-minded group that comes with experience, which we have. We have great experience, both returning players like Davion McKnight. Trey Green and Dalen Swain are young, but they all played in the Big East a year ago. They've returned to our program. And, a number of impact players from Ryan Conwell to Marcus Foster. This isn't their first big game or the first, a game that of great meaning in their career. I mean, they've been in the NCAA tournament. They've played in postseason. They understand what college basketball is about. So as we've tried to build our team and our roster, some of that toughness comes from experience and throughout, but whether it be here at Xavier or at their previous place. The toughness part of it, though, is we don't know that yet. We're going to find out with each passing test that we go through, right? We'll know a lot more about that quotient on Saturday than we do right now. And every time that we play another team, every week that goes by, I think we learn more about our group. But if we don't have that toughness, that grit, that determination, we can only go so far. So we're trying to cultivate it. We recruit to it. We try to be about it every day. But Wake Forest will really challenge us in that area because they're big and physical. They're tough-minded, and the rebounding part of the game and that toughness you're talking about is going to be a big quotient towards winning or losing.